2-2 the count for Elijah Jordan. Left-handed box. Pitch from Declan Riggs now. He delivers, and that one is hit out in towards left field. Here comes Gabe Eddington, who's caught in foul territory for out one. Runners return back to where they're at. Resetting everything yet again, because that's what we totally love doing all the time. And hopefully people can get back quickly. On the plate is Tanner Wallace after that fly out in foul territory. Runner still on first and second. Pitch from the lefty, Declan Riggs comes in. And it is roped down the right field line and will hook plenty foul for strike one. If you finding the new broadcast again, apologize for that. And we'll apologize again soon more as the others find it, as we slowly see our numbers start climbing up here. We'll communicate the issue here in a moment. As the count 0-1 with one out and runners on first and second. A 7-3 score here in the bottom of the sixth. Riggs still on the mound. He's facing Tanner Wallace, the right fielder. As the pitch comes to the plate, runner takes off for third. Throw down from Evan Jacob and gets past the glove of Dom Hartman. He'll come home as Eddington won't have a chance to throw to the plate. And they'll just hold Holmes at second. Smith scores. It is 8-3. Heat's starting to get to him, as that pitch did miss the zone. Oh no, it was a called strike. 0-2 the count. And just a runner on second with one out now. Trying to sit Wallace down on strikes. The 0-2 pitch, it's a check swing and tips it off the bottom of the bat. Goes straight downstairs with it, so he'll stay with an 0-2 count. Yeah, and thanks for finding the new broadcast. Apologize for that, everyone, as the Heat has been taking down the technology and literally destroyed broadcast number one, so we had to restart for broadcast two. So, yeah, next week, I promised one link. Well, now we're on number two because the technology hates me. No balls, two strikes. Riggs comes to the plate, and that one's popped up and towards the backstop and too far out of the reach for Evan Jacob. It hits on the roof, and the count's still 0-2. Hopper's looking for a miraculous comeback when we turn the game over to the top of the seventh inning. And they'll play game two before being treated to concession food for the most part. Snacks and a little bit of water for the bus ride back. Only 30 minutes, though, so thankfully it's not a far drive home after tonight's doubleheader contest. 0-2 delivery again from Declan Riggs, and he'll get him swinging and missing. He is very green in the strike zone. And there's another K. Two are away in the inning. But still a runner on second. That brings up Landon Volner. I mean, he's been lighting up the strike zone left and right. And got to give him credit for a guy that doesn't really pitch. He now has already delivered 4 strikeouts. The catcher in the right-handed box has 2 strikeouts, one of them against Riggs, ironically enough. He is 1 for 3, though, with a single outside of that. Pitch comes in. He'll get him looking like an absolute fool. He'll swing through one that dipped in the dirt for strike one. He was way ahead of that one. Wasn't expecting the curveball for the first pitch, but hey, first baseman's got the arm, too. Respect him at this point. He's got 4 strikeouts. 0-1 pitch from Riggs. Tries to go back to the spinner. That misses outside. The count even, 1-1. Again, for those just now joining, I'm looking at the numbers, seeing it climb more and more. Apologize for the broadcast going out earlier. The Heat literally destroyed everything, so I had to reconnect what we were working with. Happy to have you here, though, on the Hoptown Hoppers TV network as the Hoppers trail 8-3, but a chance to come back again with 3 outs remaining in the top half of the 7th. He'll swing through and ahead of the next pitch, and Riggs ahead 1-2, looking for back-to-back Ks. I'll tell you, the food that we get after the games is usually hot dogs, burgers, and the thing that people love to see is that bratwurst, and I love it too. I'm from Cincinnati, very German area. There's German bratwursts are some of the best stuff you can have over in Cincinnati. And, of course, after a game with the Hoppers. He'll get a strikeout, give Declan Riggs a German bratwurst afterwards. He's earned it with back-to-back Ks to get us out of the 6th. We turn over to the top of the 7th, trailing by 5. 3 outs remain to make a comeback in Game 1 of the doubleheader. Top of the 7th here in Madisonville, Kentucky at Elmer Kelly Field. Hoppers only had one come across against them last half inning. They trail 8-3. We look at some scores around the OVL today. Henderson Flash on the road taking on the Fulton Railroaders. Railroaders actually lead 5-1, so we'll thank them if they can hold on to that score, as Henderson's in second place by only a game and a half. Other game happening just started. It's between the Paducah Chiefs and Hendersonville, Tennessee, taking on the Full Count Rhythm. They're still scoreless early in that one, obviously here 8-3, and we'll have a second game after the 7th is over. Love to see the Hoppers make a comeback here as Wyatt Burris is subbed out. There's a new pitcher on the mound. A righty, standing 6'3", 195. It's Jack Adler from Octano Falls, Wisconsin. He's a freshman with Rock Valley College. He's listed as a right-handed pitcher, but he played primarily as a left fielder for Rock Valley this past year. He did not pitch. So in 12 games, he had a .282 batting average, and that was 11 hits he recorded, 8 runs, 7 RBIs, and 6 of the 11 hits were doubles. 1 was a triple. So didn't really hit, but he's only pitching here this summer with Madisonville. We'll see 2, 3, 4 come up as the Hoppers had 8 come up to the plate and 2 come across. Gibson was the only one not the bat in the 6th inning. He's trying to get us started and get a rally here in the 7th inning. First pitch, curveball in there for a strike. It's been a dead game at the plate for the Hoppers. Would love to revive something right here. The righty, standing 6'3", looking in for the sign, and now accepts. He'll be working from the stretch, even though no one's on the bases behind him. The leg kick goes to the plate, curveball. It's at the bottom of the zone for strike 2. A little fun fact for you, Adler. His name rhymes and actually matches up exactly with the Adler Journalism Building up in Iowa City at the University of Iowa, of course, where I attend school and spend a lot of my time. Pitch is out of play, stays alive. That's pretty much what I call my home, and then my apartment is my second home up in Iowa City because I live out of the Adler Journalism Building, whether it's classes or my work with shout-out DITV Sports. Miss you guys. Not that anyone is listening, but either way, give some love to them and check out their work. It's a bunch of talented people up there outside of just me. I'm not very talented, but they are. The 0-2 pitch, and Gibson drives one in the left field, and it'll just be caught by Isaiah Smith, and there's 1 out in the 7th. 2 remain for the Hoppers to make a comeback, and if they don't, they'll drop their 6th game of the year. At the plate is the left fielder, Brennan Mueller. And bring you today's action from the crowd and the stands with no table in front of us, so balancing everything on my miniature lap. And happy to have you here for today's bit of action. Again, it's not Mueller, excuse me. There's a pinch hitter after, obviously. And that's going to be fouled out of play for strike 1. Hitter at the plate for your Hoptown Hoppers. It's going to be number 3, Jackson Leggett Walford. That's the reason I didn't recognize him. It's his very first game here with the Hoppers. He comes into play. And it's a curveball that finds the zone for strike 2, a very pretty pitch. Well, let's tell you a little bit about Jackson Leggett Walford. He's from Clearwater, Florida, and plays with the Auburn Warhawks, where we know Chance Sweeney to play for as well, down in Auburn, Montgomery. He made 9 appearances on the mound, and of course now is the two-way guy with the Hoppers coming up to the plate. The 0-2 pitch, and he avoids chasing one in the dirt. That lands in front of the plate for ball 1. And Silglow's climbing in. Apologize for the first broadcast going out via the heats that shut it down. It's well above 93 at this point, feeling even worse with the humidity and no wind coming through. The 1-2 pitch now to Walford, and that one is upstairs and away, 2-2 the counts. And very first at-bat with the Hoppers here. He played with Palm Harbor University High School. That's what it was called, down in Clearwater, Florida. Even though he's two-way here, he's just listed as a left-handed pitcher with the Warhawks. He drives one up into right center field. That'd be a home run in a corn silo. Instead, it's caught for out number 2. Hoppers are one away from dropping game 1 of the doubleheader and looking to split it after the 30-minute hiatus. It'll be Dom Hartman coming up looking for a crazy 2-out rally. The Hoppers trail by 5 runs. No, it is Gabe Eddington. They just had the numbers all wrong. I say that's not Walford. I haven't seen him at all this year. That is Gabe Eddington, which I thought it was, and then I looked at the number, and the only one listed as number 3 is, well, Walford. So that was Eddington. I apologize. That's what it looked like in left field, and I thought maybe something else happened. Either way, Dom Hartman, the right-handed hitter, facing the pitcher, Jack Gadler, and it's a fastball right across the letters for strike 1. Don't go anywhere once this game is over. Remember to stick around for game 2 of the doubleheader here at Elmer Kelly Field, where the Hoppers will have a completely different lineup, and I would assume the Miners would flip things around as well. No, it's worked for them in this game, obviously. Curveball over the heart of the dish, and there's strike 2. 1 strike away as the Hoppers have been quiet at the plate and have not responded much. They had a single in the first, a single in the fourth, and a couple of singles in the 6th. The scoreboard's wrong. It's 4 hits they have, but that's it. All singles. 0-2 pitch. He'll chase one upstairs. And even though they've been dead in this one, they are unable to exfoliate game 1 of the doubleheader. Hoppers lose 8-3. The losing pitcher will be Brady Leonard, who started this one going 3 2/3, giving up 7 runs on 7 hits, 2 walks, 3 strikeouts. The winning pitcher, Kalen Clarkson, the starter for the Miners, going 4 innings, giving up 1 run on 2 hits, 3 walks, and 1 strikeout. Remember, everyone, don't go anywhere. We'll have game 2 of the doubleheader shortly after this. You hopefully should not have to switch your broadcast link. You can keep it right here. It'll be silent for quite a while. I apologize for that part, but we'll keep you updated with when we are coming back. Don't go anywhere. We've got game 2 coming up soon. Also, Hopper fans, remember to hydrate, grab your popcorn for game 2, because that's what I'm going to do. I just want to talk. I don't know. I want to yap. I'll come back at some point and maybe yap if I have time, but I probably won't. I say that. And then I'll be too busy trying to rush the lineup as they give it. I say Madisonville will give it to me in the last 3 seconds available. But either way, hopefully you guys have been having a good evening. Hopefully you're enjoying the broadcast. If you have any suggestions for the second broadcast, or second game really, or if you even want to give me random words to work with, we're going to do 2 things here. If you have something to share, whether it's an improvement from your True League broadcaster or for the broadcast in general, share it in the chat. We'll see if we can get something working for game 2. And then we're going to play a little game. I will allow you guys to throw in random words or random phrases in the chat, and I will work in as many as humanly possible. So let's have some fun. Give me some weird, wonky stuff to work with, and I will have some fun with it in game 2. We'll be right back with the second bit of action here in a moment. Back for game 2 of today's doubleheader at Elmer Kelly Field in Madisonville, Kentucky. Hello, everyone. Colin Crothers on the Hoptown Hoppers TV network. Hoppers just got done in finishing up a crushing defeat, 8-3. They lost to Madisonville earlier today in game 22 of the season. And that's the first time they've lost to Madisonville all summer long so far. So we continue the trek into the second half of the season with game 23. Hoppers still in first place by a game with a 16-6 record. And the complete inverse of that is the Miners in fifth place, 6-15 now on the season. Well, let's look at the starting nine for both teams as we enter this ball game. Hoppers will be at the plate first. Obviously, again, we're only playing 7 innings in this doubleheader, game 2. Completely revamped from the first game. We'll see Cade Wall lead things off as a shortstop. It'll be number 7, Chance Sweeney, batting second, playing left. Evan Jacob will be the DH, batting third. Evan Leonard will be the first baseman, batting fourth, so a pair of Evans back-to-back. Then in the 5 spot is Zach Hampton, the third baseman. Batting 6 is number 11, Mark Harmon. He's catching today. And then 7, 8, 9 will be the right fielder, Reed Hayes. Second baseman, Caden Slaughter. And the round things out will be Alex McGuire, the center fielder. The starting pitcher will be Carter Ross. We look at the Madisonville Miners. They don't really make too many adjustments, just a couple different plugins for their starting 9 in this one, replicating what they had earlier, which, again, beat the Hoppers 8-3, carried by a 6-run first inning. They'll go Trent Prosperi, Isaiah Smith, Colin Holmes, and Elijah Jordan to lead things off 1-4, just like they did in game 1 of the doubleheader. Then they switch things up in the 5 spot. They bring Creasy Lowe in to catch this game. Mason Snyder will be right behind him as a DH, so he's also different. Then they've got Jaden Hernandez and Caleb Braden back in the 7 and 8 spot with Levi Watts. The round things up in the 9 hole as the third change to this lineup for the Miners. The starting pitcher is Zeke House, a 6-foot lefty at Indiana Southeast. So a few guys in the Hoppers dugout will know a little bit of his tendencies, where this past spring he made 3 appearances with an 18 flat ERA, giving up 6 runs, all earned on 5 hits, 1 walk, and 2 strikeouts, and 3 total innings of work. Now ready to get us started for game 2. Cade Wall will lead things off and get us rolling. First pitch goes swinging, and it's fouled left side. Third base coach Max Kirby leaped over top of it, got a few little bits of applause from his dugout. House has made 4 appearances on the mound so far this year, none against Hoptown. He carries a 11.17 ERA coming into this game. The lefty with an 0-1 pitch, and Cade Wall fouls it off his foot, and the count now, no balls and 2 strikes. That 11-plus ERA has been granted to him after giving up 12 runs, all earned on 12 hits, 8 walks, 6 strikeouts, in 9.2 innings of work. So lefty works in with an early 0-2 count, and now fires away. Cade Wall will foul it off and stay alive. Defensive linemen for the Miners in the outfield from left to right. They go Isaiah Smith, Trent Prosperi, and Levi Watts now plugged in out there. In the infield is Jaden Hernandez at third, Colin Holmes the shortstop, Caleb Braden the second baseman, and Elijah Jordan the first baseman. And the catcher, again, is Casey Lowe. First pitch after the foul ball, and it runs off the outside corner. Now the count, 1 ball, 2 strikes. On deck is Chance Sweeney as we are in game 2 of the doubleheader, the first doubleheader of the season for the Hoppers underway. They'll have another one on Sunday, so got a few coming up and a lot of baseball to play. Curveball misses inside. The count evens 2-2. Hoppers couldn't get much going at the plate in game 1. Hopefully the roster turnover in the lineup will spark something in this one. You can tell with the way they were lined up to try to even things out for really good stuff in both lineups in both games. Ground ball, third baseman, slow roller. Cade Wall is trying to beat it out and is delayed by half a step for out number 1. Good throw from the third baseman, Jaden Hernandez. 5-3 ground out, and there's 1 away. Sweeney now the batter. And again, just as we get started with this broadcast, I don't know if many of you heard it in between game 1 and game 2. Want to have some fun with this one because it's a long day of baseball. I'm really glad to have you here, so I want you guys to feel appreciated. If you guys want to throw in some random words or phrases for me to attempt to work in the broadcast, go ahead and throw that into the YouTube chat. Your thoughts and ideas may just become true in the broadcast. First pitch, curveball in the strike zone. So if you guys throw in stuff there, I will see and work in as much as I possibly can for a little bit of fun today. No balls, one strike to Sweeney. The left-handed dealer throws back towards the plate. And Sweeney, swinging behind it, will tip it off out of play on the left side. He's behind 0-2 against Zeke House. House, a native of Louisville, Kentucky, where he attended Ballard High School. Again, now majoring in business marketing with Indiana Southeast. Teammates there with, obviously, the Hoptowns, Connor Scheidt and Nick Johnson. Sweeney fouls one off on the left side. It's popped up and caught by Hernandez, the third baseman. The Hoppers have gone 2 up, 2 down in the opening inning of Game 2. I really appreciate having you here for Game 2 of today's action. Evan Jacob, now the third batter. And DHing in this one, he came in last game and ended up pinch hitting at one point. And his one at-bat, he reached on a fielder's choice. First pitch he sees from House, and he'll line one over into right field. That'll drop quickly in front of Levi Watts for a 2-out single, and Jacobs aboard. That brings up the second Evan on the roster, Evan Leonard. Not really second in ranking, obviously. They're both showing a lot of talent, a lot of power. You look at Evan Leonard coming into this game. He has not faced Madisonville, but has a .333 batting average. 5 hits, 3 of them singles, 2 of them doubles. He already has 5 RBIs and 2 runs in just a short bit of play. He also had a really good season with Cleveland State Community College this past year as well. First pitch inside corner called strike, and he's behind the count to get us started. Leonard had a .331 batting average and 172 at-bats with the Cougars this past spring. Also started as a two-way guy there, though. The late kick pitch to the plate. Leonard, ground ball right side, is picked up off the second hop by the second baseman. He tripped on his throw to first, and it goes all the way in front of the dugout. Jacob around second and goes all the way to third, and will hold up there as the catcher will finally recover it. And there's runners on the corners. That'll go down as an E4 that Leonard reaches on. And just as Braden was throwing it from the second base position over towards first, he kind of got his front foot jammed in the dirt and stuck. And that resulted in him spiking the ball away from the first baseman, Elijah Jordan. So that brings up the fifth batter this inning, Zach Hampton, the third baseman today. Previous Hoptown Hoppers player of the week, not the current one, though. He was last week before that. As there's a curveball in the middle of the zone for strike one. Hampton has a team best .429 batting average and .583 on base percentage. Has recorded 5 RBIs so far this summer. And has a chance to make it 6 with a runner 90 feet away. Pitch, fastball, runs off the plate for ball 1. So the count evens for the Corpus Christi, Texas native. Plays at UMHB, Mary Hardin Baylor, a D3 school that went 28-15 in the American Southwest Conference. Actually only 5-7 in the conference, but 25-18 overall. Pitch outside again, and Hampton's ahead 2-1 against the pitcher. Hampton's a two-way guy, so knows what to look for in these situations. Has done really well on the mound. Has not appeared on the mound in quite a bit, though, for the Hoppers. Has mostly just been playing at the plate. Over a third as well as a little bit in the middle infield. 2-1 pitch from House. Ground ball at the middle, and it's a redemption for Caleb Braden as he fields it cleanly and flips at the second for the final out. Hoppers cannot strike early. They head to the bottom half of the first, scoreless here on the Hoptown Hopper Receiving Network. We return now to the bottom of the first of Game 2 of today's doubleheader action. Your starting pitcher for your Hoppers sporting their black pinstripes is Carter Ross, making his 5th appearance. He's gone 14 2/3 so far this year with a 9.21 ERA, giving up 15 runs all earned on 14 hits, 12 walks, and 21 strikeouts. He faces the center fielder, Trent Prosperi, for a righty-righty matchup. First pitch we see from Ross in the game runs high and in on Prosperi, who dips out of the way for ball 1. Prosperi, one of the nicest guys we met in the league. This is a really good team to battle up with, as it's our first doubleheader of the year. We'll have another one on Sunday, July 5th, at home at Tiger Field against the Full Count Rhythm. You want to be there for that, as well as some 4th of July action as well coming up. That's also home. Pitch upstairs, 2 balls, no strikes, as Ross is going to reset. He's from Somerset, Kentucky. Plays with the Midway Eagles, a NAIA school in Midway, Kentucky, just right outside of Lexington. They play in the River States Conference and went 28-21 this past year. Carter Ross fastball, and that one's found out of play by Prosperi near the parking lot. Actually went over top onto the first hole of the mini golf course. If you haven't joined us here so far, Elmer Kelly Field in the middle of Madisonville City Park, where there's a mini golf course, a true legitimate golf course, as well as disc golf around us. The 2-1 delivery from the right-handed dealer right down Broadway, and the count evens 2 balls and 2 strikes. Ross over at Midway, majoring in exercise science, and went an entire month this past year without pitching. He pitched in February, pitched in April, but did not pitch the entire month of March. 2-2, curveball, and he gets him swinging, missing at the drop third strike, as he will reach safely. So Ross does get the strikeout, but it does not matter. We only saw a drop third strike over in Paducah, ironically enough, and haven't seen one since. And still just there. So the leadoff guy is on with no outs, and that will bring up Isaiah Smith. Isaiah Smith went 0 for 1 last game, though he reached on a hit by pitch and a pair of walks. So he made it 3 of his 4 appearances safely. Steps in the left-handed box to face Carter Ross, who will peek over the first and against Prosperi, who is a stolen base threat. Bunt left side, and it's foul. There's strike 1. Prosperi has reached safely 6 times with a stolen base, been caught stealing twice. That's the most stolen bases for this minor squad so far this 2026 summer. And again, they just got their first win this summer against this Hoptown squad earlier this evening. So the 0-1 pitch, nope, we're going to be a pickoff move. And he's back in safely. Ross, again, the starting pitcher in Game 2 of today's action, where we'll see 7 innings, and if we're tied up, we will go to a sudden death, no extra inning. And if we have the possibility, there could be a run rule after 5. Prosperi takes off, but that one is popped up backwards and out of play, and just missing the mini golf course. The count evens, count is 0-2, excuse me. I want to see one end up landing on a hole at some point. That's my dream this summer. That's my goal at Madisonville, is if a ball goes backwards into the mini golf course and eventually lands on one of the holes. That's what I'm looking to see. Totally, yeah, that. Not the strikeouts, not the win, not the baseball. 0-2 pitch, Carter Ross, it's found backwards. So Prosperi took off for a second, but will have to return back after that one was fouled, and the count remains no balls and 2 strikes. Prosperi's tried stealing twice. Both have been fouled off. He was struck out swinging, but of course reached on a drop third strike, as the battery with Ross is his Midway Eagle teammate, Mark Harmon, could not receive it well. The 0-2 pitch, it's fouled off again. So Smith doing his job, staying alive up there, and stretching out this at-bat against Carter Ross. Smith is a .364 average batter for this team coming into today, so not including the game earlier, though we only went 0 for 1, so not much shy of that. Pickoff move, the first tag applied by the first baseman, Evan Leonard, but not in time. Count still 0-2 with no outs and a runner on first. We're scoreless in Game 2. Carter Ross delivers to the plate and misses upstairs. Let's take a moment to look at the defensive alignments for your Hoppers in the outfield from left to right. They've got Chance Sweeney, Alex McGuire, and Reed Hayes. In the infield, Zach Campton's over manning third. Cade Wall is your captain over at shortstop. Over at second is Caden Slaughter. Evan Leonard is the first baseman. And the backstop is the battery with Carter Ross. Mark Harmon, he'll throw down the second as Trent Prospero was going there and beat him by a country mile. That's a runner caught stealing from Mark Harmon. And there's one away. Pitch did miss the zone, so the count evens 2-2. And no one on the base pads anymore. Could be looking at a strikeout to quickly have two sent down in the inning. That's the third time Prosperi's been caught stealing this year. And now the pitch from Ross to Isaiah Smith. It misses below the knees with an off-speed. Count now runs full. Ross has been good at getting outs. He's been good at throwing strikes. He's thrown the strike about 58% of the time on 295 pitches coming into this game. He's reached 300 just into this at-bat. And that one misses for a walk after the runner was caught stealing. So he'll replace him on first base, and Colin Holmes, the shortstop, will come up to bat. Holmes last game went 2 for 3 with a hit by pitch, so reached 3 of the 4 times he came up to the dish. Batting 143 coming into the day. Probably well above 200 at this point, especially with just a limited number at bats. He's now gotten, 3 hits on 10 at bats. So, 300. There you go. That's how you do some math. Carter Ross pitch. Fastball outside corner. Nails it for strike. That one's called from our home plate umpire as Ross looks in for the next sign. He's working from the stretch, accepts, peeks over at first, and now set from the rubber. He'll throw over the first, and Smith is back in safely. Ross again looking in, and now he'll fire towards the plate. Curveball that hits the outside corner, and Ross is ahead 0-2 against Colin Holmes. Shortstop didn't love it, asked if it just barely hit the corner or caught more of the plate than he intended. Either way, he found out battles. An 0-2 pitch now to the plate. Ross outside, tried the corner, runs off the plate for ball 1. Still have Smith standing on first base. He's had 1 stolen base so far this year. Didn't attempt any others. Pickoff move. Smith back in safely, even though that was pretty much a perfect throw from Carter Ross. Got to give him credit for that one. Just wasn't too far off the bag to get him out. 1 ball, 2 strikes with 1 out. Ross to the plate. Curveball that misses downstairs and broke just a tad bit early. Down even 2-2. Fall off the table was good, just too quickly. Ross again readies up with the even count pitch. He'll deliver after the leg kick, and it's fouled off out of play into the parking lots. So we'll do the 2-2 pitch all over again. It's been extended bottom of the first here. Only our third batter we're seeing coming up to the plate. And Ross has already thrown a plethora. The 2-2 pitch again. That one lifted out towards shallow right field. Reed Hayes charging towards the chalk, and it lands just fair. Reed Hayes will fire one over towards second, and they almost got the force out, but it's a little delayed as Isaiah Smith reaches quickly for the single. So Colin Holmes stands on first. Nothing Reed Hayes could do with that one. He charged quickly as possible and almost made the play over at second. Just couldn't get it to work. So now Elijah Jordan, the cleanup batter, comes up. He went 2 for 4 as the first baseman in last game, and would like to remind you now, last game, the Hoppers scored first for a 1-0 lead, and then immediately after that, the Miners responded with the hammer. They scored 6 runs in response and brought all 9 batters up in the order. 1 out and 2 on here in the inning. Carter Ross facing Jordan. Looks in and now set from the stretch. Fires his 20th pitch of the inning as there's a bunt laid down the third base line perfectly. Zach Hampton can't charge, and no one's going to pick it up. Bases are loaded. The best bunt I think we've probably seen from an opponent so far this entire summer, and it's awarded to Elijah Jordan to load the bases with that technical infield single. So coming up now is Casey Lowe, who did not play last game. Casey Lowe is a Hazlet, Texas native. Played his redshirt freshman year with Frontier Community College. Is batting .250 so far this year. Has brought in 3 RBIs and has 2 in scoring position, another on first with only 1 out in the bottom of the first. Ross has put himself in an early jam. Trying to escape it, he'll throw the first pitch. Curveball, and he'll pull the string too early for ball 1. Had a lot of really good break on it. Again, he's got a lot of top spin on that curveball. It's just falling down a little too quickly, so if he can release that maybe a half, not even a quarter second earlier, that's in there for a strike. Barely missing the bottom of the zone. 1-0 delivery after the leg kick. Fastball misses high and in. And Ross is behind 2 balls and no strikes to the Texas native, Casey Lowe. He's the catcher today. Went .357 this past spring with Frontier Community College. Hands 5'6", 180 in the right-handed box. Ross accepts the sign, now ready from the stretch. With bases loaded and 1 out, he'll leg kick and fire towards the dish. It's right down the pipe, and there's a called strike 1 with the fastball. So 2-1 now your count. And on deck would be Mason Schneider, the DH, who we have not faced yet against this Hoppers team. Leg kick, Ross pitch, curveball, and it ends up hitting him, and that'll bring in a run. Early 1-0 lead again. Miners lead in the first inning like they did a game ago. Lowe is aboard with the first hit by pitch. Now coming up is the DH, Mason Schneider, a native of Cincinnati, Ohio. I bring in that little inflection because that is also where I'm from. He also there attended Elder High School, part of the GCL, where I also attended. The home of the Elder Panthers. And the GCL is the conference they play in, the Greater Catholic League. Let's put it this way. You can look this up for yourself. It's different every year, but constantly, from what I've seen, the Greater Catholic League is a ranked 6th or higher best conference for high school sports in the entire country, especially in football. They've got 3 powerhouses up there, 2 really, with Moeller and St. X. Elder is very competitive as well. LaSalle is the 4th team that makes up that conference. And that's it. Pitch upstairs is a ball to Mason Schneider. We had a really good career with the Panthers. And now plays with Wabash Valley. JUCO squad. 1-0 delivery. And that one way upstairs saved by Harmon from going to the backstop. The count 2-0. Yeah, there's only 4 teams that make up the Greater Catholic League. And that's enough that they are all so talented in all these sports that they are constantly ranked 6th or higher in the nation for sports. The highest I've seen them get ranked is 3rd, right behind that great conference in California as well as down in Florida with IMG. Pitch is on the outside. Half it nails it for a strike 1. 2-1 the count to Schneider. Schneider has a late return to this team. Did not start the year with them. Has gone hitless in his last 6 consecutive games that he's played in. Way upstairs again. Ross cannot find his footing. He's behind 3-1. Fastball's getting away from him, and he's not working down the mound as much right now. He's got to be able to stride a little bit farther and bring that release arm, bury it down a little bit here. So even if he walks him, you hope that he does so with a pitch that misses down low or maybe even in the dirt, if you will. So we can even it out after that. The 3-1. Instead, he finds it literally right down the middle. 3-2. So, doesn't miss. Instead, gives him the best pitch he's going to see in his life, and he'll leave it there for the full count. Bases still loaded. 1 out. Miners with a 1-0 early lead. Carter Ross again from the right side of the rubber. He'll ready. He'll leg kick. He'll fire. And Schneider starting to go around, holds up. It doesn't matter. He's called out and set down on strikes. 2 away in the bottom of the first. That'll bring up Jaden Hernandez, a third baseman. He went 1 for 3 in the last game. I definitely want to get out of the at-bat here with Caleb Braden standing on deck, who had that 2-run homer in that first inning to give the Miners an early 6-1 lead. Obviously, they end up winning that game 8-3. In game 1 of the doubleheader, Hoppers look to tie things up. In the doubleheader, they'll want to split it. First pitch, lifted up left side. No one can find it. Left fielder charging in. Shortstop can't get to it, and it'll land right behind Cade Wall. So 2 runs come across, and that's a 3-0 score. lights here are brutal, and I got to point out, to give him a little bit of an excuse here. Not making excuses, but I'm not kidding. Not a single cloud right now, and when a ball gets lost that high and there's no clouds to help kind of change the texture of the sky, you cannot see a thing. You've got to give him credit for that. That will go down as a double for Hernandez, 2 RBI double. So it's 3-0 again, like you just said, and 2 stand in scoring position. But you can't see a thing, and the lights aren't very tall. They're not very bright. Don't give you much help there. Caleb Braden, the 8th batter to come up this inning for the Miners, trying to replicate that opening inning last game where they played at 6. They've got the 6th run at the plate right now if they were to do so. Pitch way upstairs, and it's ball 1 to Braden, who went 2 for 3 with that home run in the opening inning of action. It was a 2-run shot in the right field. He knew it off the bat and was able to give a little flip back towards his dugout before taking it off for first base. Carter Ross with a long look in to his Eagle teammate, Mark Harmon. Now readies, and he'll deliver. It's a broken bat swing, and it's a ground ball to Caden Slaughter at second, throw the first, and that does end the inning. That bat shattered so much that it flew up good 15 feet in the air. Doesn't give him the power he needs still to bring in more runs. Miners with an early lead. It's 3 for Madisonville, nothing for the Hoppers as we head to the second. We played 1 in Game 2 of the doubleheader. Miners lead 3-0 over your Hoptown Hoppers on the road at Elmer Kelly Field. Currently it's about 85 degrees outside. It feels like 87. I would say it feels like more, though. Get ready for this one. You ready? And make sure you're listening. 79% humidity. I can't even believe that number. It's ridiculous. That's what kind of killed and crashed our first broadcast for a couple of pitches. We were able to reset it, and now we're ready to go for the second inning of action here on the Hoptown Hoppers TV network. Hoppers saw 5 come to the plate and no runs scored. They trail by 3. Mark Harmon to lead things off as we go 6, 7, 8 due up for the Hoppers. Zeke House, the lefty, still the pitcher dealing for the Miners. They sport their yellow tops and are ready to continue here. First pitch, Harmon goes swinging and swings underneath it. He's behind 0-1. Harmon at the plate right now has not faced Madisonville, has a .250 batting average coming into today's contest. That's 6 hits on 24 at-bats. Has brought in 2 RBIs. Both were go-ahead singles as well. So he'll leave one running off the outside of the plate and to the backstop for ball 1. So count evens at 1 apiece for the Midway Eagle from Fisherville, Kentucky, where he played with the Eastern High School Eagles. So he's been an Eagle all high school and all of college, so far at least. It's hard to go after one in the dirt, and they'll say he did not hold up in time. He offered, and there's strike 2. Harmon's majoring in accounting at Midway. Finished up his freshman year with a .182 batting average, but only saw 11 at-bats. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Zeke House with a leg kick. He'll deal. It's a curveball right in the middle of the zone for a strikeout. Gets him looking for the backwards K, and the punch-out will bring up Reed Hayes, the right fielder. He's back in the lineup after we go to their game on Monday. I brought up on the broadcast how he got hit by a pitch on a 3-0 count. It was a very non-competitive 3-0 pitch and ended up hitting off his wrist. As the first pitch, he lines up the right field line, tailing, and it just lands fair. He's going to round first, and he is chugging for second. He is going hard, and he's going to round and start going for third. Here comes the throw in. Throw will be hold up from the cutoff man. He's in with a triple. Reed Hayes stands 90 feet away from scoring as the Hoppers are on the base pads. Welcome back, Reed Hayes, after mentioning that his wrist got hit in that 3-0 pitch. You can see there he feels just fine. We'll tell you the official word, just a bone bruise. But he's all good. Now at the plate is Caden Slaughter, the second baseman, looking to follow him up with something huge here. It's a curveball that runs way outside for ball one. Runner on third, one out for Slaughter, who did not play in the last game, as well as pretty much everyone in the lineup. Just a few guys came in as pinch hitters. Zeke House, the 1-0 delivery. And he went around but goes all the way to the backstop, and Reed Hayes will cross with ease. And the score is 3-1. Hayes goes all the way around, 360 by himself with the triple, and then the passed ball for the score. Count even 1-1 as Caden Slaughter did offer. So he sits there looking with no one on and one out. House, the 1-1 pitch, and Slaughter went all the way through that one, just tipped it back into Casey Lowe's glove, and now the count 1-2. Slaughter this summer has gone 2 for 5 against the Miners. It's a 189 batting average. Spent the past year with the UW Whitewater Warhawks, but did not see any time. Now transferring to play with Vol State Community College. The right-handed hitter gets the pitch from the left-handed dealer. It runs outside off the plate with a fastball. The count evens 2-2. Decent crowd here for Game 2 of today's contest. Good amount of Hoppers fans as well. It's only about a 30-minute drive from Hopkinsville. 2-2 pitch comes in. Curveball. He'll swing underneath it, and there's another strikeout. 2 Ks for 2 outs in the inning. That one swinging, though. And that brings up the ninth batter, Alex McGuire, the center fielder today. Had a little bit of a better stroke of luck last time that he was in the lineup. He played against Fulton on Wednesday at home. Got a base hit in that one. He has a few more here because he is a very strong bat, trying to get out of a slump. The right-handed hitter, first pitch. He'll attack, and he fouls it out of play right side as he swings just a little bit late on it. He's behind 0-1. He plays at the U.S. Sports University with 3 other teammates on this team. I was a Cade Wall on deck being one of them, as well as Evan Jacob and Dom Hartman. Hartman the only one from there, not in the lineup in Game 2. Curveball misses down to Sayers, and the count evens 1-1. Hartman played in the first game and unfortunately didn't get a hit, which ends his 7-game hit streak. Unfortunately, was hoping to stretch it past the week. Couldn't get there. Did get on with a couple walks, though. That one roped up the right field line again. That one's going to be fair. Alex McGuire rounding first and going for second hard, and he will hold up there with an extra base hit. McGuire, kill that slump, send it goodbye, and tell it to never come back. You're on second. No one I'm happier for than McGuire to get on right there, and that's when you finally get to see the strong bat I have been preaching about all year long. I looked at the numbers. I looked at the film with the U.S. Sports University. The bat's strong. I'm telling you the bat's strong. And finally, the Grand Ledge Michigan native shows it off right there and shows the speed he has on the base pads as well. He's 1 for 3 stealing so far this year. He's been put in some awkward situations. Won't be going here, though, with 2 outs and standing on second. The batter at the back, top of the lineup is Cade Wall. He had a 5-3 ground out his first time up. First pitch, curveball, misses near the shoelaces for ball 1. Well, again, now just 1 for 6, including that ground out against the Miners this year. Had a home run last night in Fulton. The 1-0, he'll swing through it, and there's a 1-1 count. Well, again, played at Logan County High School in Russellville, Kentucky, where played 4 years of varsity baseball and basketball. Was a district champ in basketball in 2024, his graduating senior year, as well as in baseball, but that was in 2022, his sophomore year. Zeke House picks back towards second 3 times, and after the triple look, it's a pitch to the plate. Ground ball left side, shortstop picks it up and bobbles it, throws over the first, but Wall's speed is too much, and he legs it out, and he is safe. Runners on the corners with still 2 outs and looking to continue the 2-out rally will be Evan Jacob. We'll await the official ruling here to see if they give him a hit or an error. I said Evan Jacob, excuse me. It's Chance Sweeney coming up in the 2 spot. So I won't give you the call if it was a single or an error from the shortstop Colin Holmes. He bobbled it a little, but wouldn't be too shocked if they gave him the infield single. Here is the official ruling. It is a single. I like that. I like that call. I agree. His first pitch goes swinging. Ground ball over on the left side. It gets off a hop and thrown into right field. McGuire comes across and scores. Here comes Cade Wall over the third as Levi Watts, the right fielder, throws it back into the infield. The rally continues, and we are tied. Throw 3-2, excuse me. Wrong score. The runners on the corners again, though. And they are throwing all the way around. Sweeney technically reaches on a fielder's choice. And Wall goes all the way around to third. McGuire scores, and we're down by only a run. Looking to gain them all back right here. Evan Jacob comes up to the plate. Still 2 outs. As the first pitch he sees from Zeke House, way upstairs and away. And it's ball 1. Good save from the backstop low before it went all the way to the actual physical backstop. And the Hoptown fans are fired up. They make up about 40% of the crowd here tonight. Runner takes off before pitch is thrown and runs right into a tag. Sweeney is out, and that'll end the top of the second. But the Hoppers start the claw back. They trail 3-2 as we head to the Miners' half of the second inning. Bottom of the second here at Elmer Kelly Field. Hoptown Hoppers scratch across 2 and now only trail by a run. It's 3-2 as Levi Watts will lead things off for the Miners in the 9 spot, and we'll flip things back over to the top of the order. They had 8 come up to the plate in the first inning and scored all 3 of their runs. On the mound still is Carter Ross coming in for his second inning of work, as his team still only trails but now by a run. So Ross, the righty, facing the right-handed hitter, Levi Watts, a freshman at Rock Valley College. First pitch he sees of the night. It's a curveball that he'll attack, and it's a ground ball over to the shortstop, Cade Wall. Died after it hit the lip, but he recovers, throws the first in time, and there's quickly 1 away in the inning. We go back to the top of the order now with Trent Prosperi. Again, that ball over to Wall. Took 1 hop, took a second, and as soon as it took that second hop, it hit the lip between that grass in the infield and the dirt in the infield, and immediately died on him. He was able to adjust quickly and still get the out. Prosperi, who is technically 0 for 1. He did reach last time on a drop third strike, though. He's one of 2 Ks that Carter Ross has delivered so far. First pitch from the right-handed dealer, curveball, and it misses at the bottom of the well for ball 1. And Ross, I want to go back to his very first outing. It was game 2 of the season on the road against the Fulton Railroaders. And I mentioned that he looked like an ace in that game. As the 1-0 comes in, and it's found out of play, 1-1 the count. Well, since then he's been good, and he's had another appearance that was really good, but it got a little shaky when he went to Hendersonville to face the full count Rhythm, our first appearance there. Came in relief, started that game, had a little shakes. And last time he was out looked pretty solid. So we're going to do that here again. The 1-1. And, it just misses the fastball, too, on the count. So Ross has the ability to be a terrific pitcher. We've seen it. And he still is looking really good. Just got to keep the base hits a little bit down right now. And that would serve him as very well. As that one's found into play on the right side. Count now 2-2. The bigger issue, though, besides the hits, is staying in the zone with the walks. He has 12 walks coming into this game. Only 2 hit by pitches, but 12 walks in 14.2 innings of work. That number drops down with the hits, and, well, they're not able to string things together as much as they have been with getting 1 to 2 guys on every single inning, which makes sense. He's got a 1.77 whip, and Ross is the ultimate dealer. Tries a spot one in the corner, just misses, and the count runs full. Didn't miss by much, about a centimeter closer in towards the plate, and that one's got to be a called strike. Pressberry readies back up in the right-handed box to face the Somerset, Kentucky native. Ross set again from the stretch. He'll deal the full count pitch. Curveball on the corner, and just misses again. There's a walk. After the 6-3 ground out, second guy gets on. So with 1 out, Isaiah Smith is the new batter. He is 0 for 0. He reached on a walk last time, came all the way around and scored. And the Hoppers 2 runs on 3 hits. Madisonville 3 runs on 3 hits and 2 errors so far in this very early game 2 of our doubleheader. Carter Ross, first pitch, it misses in the dirt for ball 1. First pitch strike is something you bring up too. It was dancing around just shy or just south of 50%. First pitch strikes he's thrown so far this summer. And while that's not awful, if he brings that up a little bit more too, I think he gains the confidence to go into his bag with that curveball a bit more. Fastball misses again, and the count now 2-0. He does throw the first pitch curveball a decent amount. So not to say he doesn't have the confidence with it, but I'd love to see it more on because it's a great curveball. It has a lot of top spin on it and falls off the table pretty well. So if he can get back ahead of counts, especially early, he's able to get guys out with it. He'll tip one backwards, and now the count 2-1 strike to Isaiah Smith. The left fielder again went 0 for 1 in game 1 today. And a reach with a hit by pitch and a pair of walks. Quick pause as that ball was retrieved from the backstop. And now the ball is put back in play. Ross peeks over the first, now set, and will throw over the first. Pickoff move, no tag applied by Evan Leonard, the first baseman. Now we focus our attention again on the batter, Isaiah Smith, with a 2-1 count. Pitch is dealt to the plate. It misses high. There's a throw down, and Mark Harmon has 2 caught stealing. He throws him out again. Both times have been against Trent Prosperi, and now there's 2 outs in the inning. Look at that. Prosperi, who's been the best stolen base threat this entire season for the Miners, has been caught stealing twice against Mark Harmon. You can think twice before you go ever again against him in this scheme. 2-2 the count with 2 outs in the inning. Trying to get out of it right here. Ross to the plate. The pitch. It's popped up towards the backstop. Harmon locating it near the fence, and he just overruns it. So it just lands as a strike. He was about to end the inning with 2 outs by himself right there. Instead, the count remains 2-2. Everyone takes a moment after Harmon had to find his helmet that he chucked away to find the ball. Still a runner on first with 2 outs. 2 balls. No one on first, excuse me. Got to fix that in the scorebook. Deuces wild. Pitch to the plate, and it's fouled off into the backstop. It rolled off the netting a little bit and stayed in the field of play, so someone's got to cover that one. Here at Elmer Kelly Field, there's actual netting for the backstop that when you go high enough, it turns into a fence, so it doesn't come here into the stands where fans could get hit. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Rice delivers again, and there's a drop third strike. Ross with another K, and they'll throw him out at first. That'll do it for the bottom of the second. Hoppers get out with no damage coming across. They trail by 1 as we head to the third on the road. As we enter the third, we take a look at some scores around the OVL. Obviously, action here tonight. And then Henderson Flash on the road taking on the Fulton Railroaders. Hopper fans, you're going to love this score. The Railroaders lead 7-2 in the 9th inning. Henderson Flash have bases loaded right now, of course, with one out. But hopefully the Railroaders hold on to that and push the Flash further away into second place behind the Hoptown Hoppers. The other game, the Paducah Chiefs taking on the Full Count Rhythm. Paducah currently sits in 4th place, 10-11. Full Count Rhythm, 13-9. In 3rd place, we'll see them tomorrow. Chiefs lead 4-1 in the 5th inning of action on the road. Night has fallen officially, and we can see over out of play a full orange moon. If my mother is listening, she probably just hit something and was not very happy. Shout out to her. She's an ICU nurse, and what that means is that the hospital is going to be packed. So sorry, Mom, but it looks beautiful for us here at the ballpark. Got to grab a picture of that, honestly. Well, Zeke out, still the pitcher. First pitch, it'll hit off the leg of Evan Jacob to lead things off for a leadoff hit by pitches. Would go 3, 4, 5, due up in the order. Now the 4th batter is Evan Leonard. We'll see how this looks. I'm sure, you know how iPhone cameras are. They don't look very good. I wish I could show you guys this. It doesn't matter. It looks great, but the camera is not very good. Maybe if I have a moment, I might try to show you guys what it looks like on the stream. I don't know. We try to have fun. First pitch to the righty, Evan Leonard. It'll be a fastball that is nailed on the corner for strike one. Leonard, last time up, he reached on an error from the second baseman, that being Caleb Braden. And now behind 0-1 with no outs. And the tying run on first go ahead at the plate. That's another fastball knee high, and he'll swing before the pitch reaches him, and he's behind 0-2. On deck is Zach Hampton. And then the hole would be Mark Harmon. No balls, 2 strikes as House the lefty readies, and now leg kick and deals. Way high and away. Good save from Casey Lowe, count 1-2. So Jacob remains standing on first base. And we focus our attention again to the first baseman, Evan Leonard. House will shake off a couple of signs, now a third, and accept the 4th. Pretty big arsenal out there. 0-2 pitch to the plate, and Leonard fouls it off. Out of play on the right side to stay alive. And there goes another car siren. So there you go. You made contact with another car. Oh, that's not good. I hope that person in their car is okay, and maybe just passed by it and scared the car. How about that? I'm trying to think positive for you. 1-2 curveball runs outside, and the count now evens 2 balls and 2 strikes. And if the Henderson Flash were to lose, let me see if I do some math here. If they were to lose and the Hoppers were to win this one, they'd be 2 games out of first place. As right now they're only a game out with the Hoppers losing game 1. 2-2 pitch lifted high in the left field. MLB pop fly and a can of corn for Isaiah Smith. There's 1 out away. I say can of corn even though with the lights here right now, not really sure he could see it very well. He was trying to track it and almost ended up overrunning it. Ended up locating it in the nick of time, and Leonard's out. Jacob remains on first, and coming up to the plate is the third baseman, Zach Hampton. Hampton is last time up. Ground out to the second baseman is technically a fielder's choice as there was a runner on first and that ended the inning. They just flipped it the second. Pickoff move over the first, gets away from the first baseman. Jacob takes off from second and is rounding hard. They're going to throw up the hands as they cannot locate it. So he will reach third easily with a no contest. He stands only a few feet away. No, they're going to send him back to second because he wasn't in the second at time when they threw up their hands. I don't know about that. He should stand on third. Okay. So finally the third base, I was about to say, that does not make sense. First of all, you get an extra bag no matter what. Second of all, he was past second anyway. Third base umpire comes in and goes, no, he stands on third to correct the home plate umpire. And now head coach for the Miners, Stephen McNett, will come out for a conversation. So the pitch wasn't there, obviously. It was a pickoff move. And got away from Elijah Jordan. Over behind the Madisonville bullpen. That's in the field of play, kind of. They threw up their hands and said, yeah, we can't grab that one. So now Hampton has a 0-0 count with 1 out and a runner standing on third. That's the tying run right there as he represents the go-ahead at the plate. First pitch he sees from the left-handed dealer. Fastball, ground ball over to the shortstop. He will scoop it up, throw across the body of the first. Hampton's out, but that ties us at 3 as Jacob scores. You did your job. That's all that matters. You brought in the run as Jacob had the speed to cross without any contest. Hampton will come into the dugout with a job well done and success at the plate despite the ground down. So an outside 3-3 with 2 outs and no one on the bases. Harmon, the batter, first pitch down the middle, and there's 1 strike. Harmon struck out looking his last time up. Looking to reverse that here, and of course we have a tight ball game going into the end of this one. There's no one I want to see up besides Mark Harmon, Mr. Clutch, at this point in the year. Curveball misses by the shoelaces, and the count evens 1 ball, 1 strike. Reed Hayes, the man that stands on deck, and we could spark a 2-out rally if he comes up after he had a triple in his 1 at-bat so far today. House, the 1-1 delivery. And that one's fouled out of play, right side. No car alarm. That's good. 1 ball, 2 strikes. That moon is rising quickly. About a quarter of it was covered by the trees in my line sight, and then now it's quite a bit over top of it. I don't know why I'm talking about moon. You can't hear it. We got baseball here in the OVL. 1-2 delivery to Harmon. Curveball, and he went fishing and did not come up with a trout. Didn't come up with a tuna. Just came up with missing bait. So he is set down on strikes as we head to the bottom of the third. Tied at 3 in Elmer Kelly Field. Back now with the bottom of the third side, 3-3 between the Hoppers and the Miners. Just got some confirmation on a score in the OVL. Shout out the league treasurer, Ted, for telling me that the Fulton Railroaders have